For lesson two, we will be looking at for lesson two, we will be looking at binary message devices. So, computer science is commonly thought of to be the study of computers themselves, the physical machines that we have on our desks and carry around in our pockets. And another way that computer scientists think about the way to say that computer science is the study of information and information processes. So, today we're going to take just a moment and think, what is information? What is information processes mean? What do you think you might be studying? So take just a moment and decide, what is your personal definition of information? So take a moment and write that down. So information. There are many ways we can think about the word information, but one possible definition we'll explore today is that information is the answer to a question. Perhaps the simplest question one can ask is what we call a binary question, or a question to which there are only two possible answers. For example, the question, do we have a quiz today, is a binary question. There are only two possible answers, yes and no. Typically, we think of binary questions as ones that can be answered with a yes or no, true or false, things like that. But there are many questions that have binary responses as well, such as, which do you prefer, Coke or Pepsi, country music or hip hop? The information in this response is what is called a binary message, or a message that can have only two possible values. Today, we're going to work with binary questions and messages. First, you and a partner will have to come up with a binary question. So, your partner will be of your choosing. I would ask that it would make it easy for this first time, that you do it during your class period in which you both meet. So imagine that you and your friend or your partner have not been able to communicate for the entire summer, and that you have a chance to ask one binary question that they will answer. So, first thing you have to do is come up with the binary question that you want to ask. Both you and your partner have to have the same question. So take a moment. You will need to use the Google Hangout situation to have that open just to chat, and decide upon what your question may be. Now that you've come up with a binary question, let's talk about how you're going to answer it. So you're going to answer a binary question that's easy when we speak to each other, but it becomes more difficult when we're separated. So today you're going to focus on how a binary message can be sent over a distance. You're going to build a device that sends the message. So you've already come up with a question. Now you're going to build a device. You're going to build a device out of some supplies that I have available for you. You may find them around the room. Uh, if you don't, please ask. But you and your partner will have to have these same items as you build your device. So you're going to build your device out of random supplies to be able to send information to a classmate on the other side of the room. Now, there are some basic rules and constraints. So you can't talk to each other face to face. You still will need to be in your Hangout. You cannot use any language that means writing or talking to communicate. So you can't write out words, you can't use sign language, you can't use any projectiles. So for the first challenge, you're going to have about 5 minutes to construct a device out of the supplies to send your simple binary message. Again, only two possible answers. And you'll send that message to your partner. You should try to make it foolproof. Consider obstacles that can be thrown in the way. So is your device going to work if there's something between you and your partner in which you can't see each other? What if you were in a loud room? What if your partner wasn't paying attention? So go ahead, take 5 minutes to try to put your devices together. It's now time. Now it's time to demonstrate your device. Go ahead and use Screencastify to turn on over your Hangout to be able to record that, and make sure that you are explaining your rules of how you're communicating. So you've come up with your binary question, make sure to state that. Obviously show your device, and then state your rules for communicating so that everyone knows how your device responds to the answer. Now, not all questions have only two possible answers. So your new challenge is to invent a way your device can be sent that has four possible answers. So think about, how do you modify your device? How do you use it in a different way? Should you make a new device entirely? So first, think of a question that has four possible answers, and go ahead. You've got 5 minutes to do any redesigning of your device to make those answers possible. All right, go ahead and repeat with a new Screencastify to share your four question and device responses to be able to say how that works. And you will have a paper that you will need to complete an activity. So go ahead and you will be jotting that down, and you'll have a further challenge with 8 possible answers, even more complex, just as you've done with your first 2. Go ahead and see what you can do, and I'd like for you to then think, what would it be like if you had a large number of possible messages? What if your device had to give 16 possible answers, or 32, or even a million possible responses? So go ahead and process that with your partner. You will both be asked to complete the activity sheet that is enclosed, responding to that, and then you will submit your information from your Screencastifies as well as your activity guide to me through a Google form. I hope this has been an interesting and creative experience on sending binary devices.